The Bible is considered by many around the world to be the Word of God. The last book of the Bible is called the Revelation of Jesus Christ, and at the heart of that book, in the middle of that book, there are three messages known as the three angels' messages that are given at a time when the world is about to end, just before Jesus is about to return. I want to talk about those three angels' messages. The first message begins with the everlasting gospel. Where else should we start? It's the centre, the foundation and the heart of the Bible message. The everlasting gospel, the gospel of Jesus Christ, whose life, death, burial and resurrection has brought hope to millions of people around the world. But when I think of the everlasting gospel, the word gospel means good news. And the everlasting gospel is the good news about who God is, best revealed in the person of Jesus Christ. That first angel's message calls upon us to return to worshipping God as our Creator, particularly at a time just before the end of the world where people are making decisions for all eternity. The second of those three angels' messages says that Babylon is fallen. What is Babylon? Babylon is a spiritual, political system of worship that is leading people away from God and is based not on the teachings of the Word of God, but rather on the teachings of men. And God says that this system is fallen. Babylon really means confusion. And so many in the world today are confused about God, about worship, about spiritual things, and yet God has clearly revealed in His Word the answers to many people's questions. The third angel's message is a warning for us to stay away from the deceptions that are prevalent in our world and to come back to worshipping God, who is our Creator, but also to keeping His commandments and having the faith of Jesus. These three angels' messages are portrayed as going to the whole world. They're a global message, which is consistent with what Jesus said about the message He wanted His disciples to share. When we read it at the end of the Gospel of Matthew, He said, "Go into all the world and make disciples and baptize them." So these three angels' messages at the heart of the book of Revelation, you find them in Revelation 14 verses 6 through 12, call us to worshipping God as our Creator, especially in a time just before the second coming when decisions are being made as to where we will spend eternity. And God is calling us back to the true worship of Himself as opposed to the false worship of the deceiving powers of Babylon that will draw us away from God, away from the source of life and the way to the source of true happiness and joy for all eternity.